The Obsolete Man is an episode from the classic television series The Twilight Zone. It first aired in 1961. The episode plunges us into a chilling dystopian future. In this future, a totalitarian state reigns supreme. The state dictates every aspect of human life. One man, a humble librarian, becomes an unlikely hero. He dares to challenge the state's definition of obsolescence and worth. This episode is a powerful exploration of themes that remain deeply relevant today. We see the dangers of unchecked state power, we confront the suppression of individuality, and we witness the importance of fighting for freedom of thought. This episode is a stark reminder that the human spirit can triumph, even in the face of overwhelming adversity. The episode unfolds in a world stripped of individuality. The state controls every aspect of life. This includes occupations, beliefs, and even thoughts. Citizens live in fear. They conform to avoid being deemed obsolete. This label means certain death. This dystopia, while fictional, serves as a chilling warning. It shows us what can happen when power goes unchecked. It highlights the dangers of blind obedience, and it underscores the importance of individual thought and expression. These are essential to a free and just society. Enter the librarian, Mr. Wordsworth. He represents everything this oppressive state despises. He is a lover of knowledge, a champion of free thought. He finds solace in books. The state considers books antiquated and useless. They prefer the cold efficiency of technology. Wordsworth's love for books is not merely a quaint hobby. It is an act of defiance. By clinging to the written word, he clings to the very essence of humanity. He embodies the spirit of intellectual curiosity. This is something the state cannot extinguish, no matter how hard it tries. At the helm of this oppressive regime stands the Chancellor. He is a figure of cold, calculating authority. He embodies the state's absolute power. He sees himself as the ultimate arbiter of human worth. He deems anyone who doesn't conform to his narrow worldview as obsolete. His confrontation with Wordsworth is a clash of ideologies. The Chancellor represents blind obedience and control. Wordsworth embodies free thought and the enduring power of the human spirit. Their encounter highlights the stark contrast between a world that values conformity and one that cherishes individuality. Section 5. The verdict: obsolescence or execution.
Wordsworth is put on trial for the crime of being obsolete. His love of books is seen as a threat.
The state fears the power of knowledge and independent thought.
The trial itself is a sham. It is a chilling demonstration of the state's absolute power.
The verdict is a foregone conclusion. Wordsworth is found guilty and sentenced to death. However, the state's attempt to eliminate him only strengthens his resolve. He is determined to die on his own terms. He will not be a pawn in their game. Section 6. A battle of wills: books versus bombs. In a powerful act of defiance, Wordsworth chooses his own method of execution. He requests to be locked in a room with his beloved books. The state, confident in its control, grants his wish. They believe they have silenced him for good. However, they have underestimated the power of ideas. Wordsworth, surrounded by his books, is far from defeated. He spends his final hours immersed in the world of literature. He finds solace and strength in the words of great thinkers. Section 7. Echoes of reality: freedom's fragile state. The episode's themes resonate deeply with contemporary issues. We see parallels in the rise of surveillance technologies, we see it in the spread of misinformation, and we see it in the increasing polarization of societies worldwide. The Obsolete Man serves as a stark reminder of the fragility of freedom. It shows us that the erosion of individual rights often happens gradually. It can go unnoticed until it is too late. The episode is a call to action. It urges us to remain vigilant in defending our freedoms. We must challenge those who seek to restrict them. Section 8. The final chapter: a triumph of the human spirit. The episode culminates in a powerful and unexpected twist. While the state believes they have eliminated Wordsworth, he has other plans. Using the explosives provided for his execution, he engineers a plan. He brings down the entire building, including himself and the Chancellor. Wordsworth's act is not just about revenge. It is a final act of defiance against a system that sought to erase him. He refuses to be silenced. He demonstrates that even in death, the human spirit can triumph over oppression. Section 9. Timeless relevance. A stark reminder. The Obsolete Man remains as relevant today as it was in 1961. It is a timeless reminder of the dangers of unchecked power. It highlights the importance of individual thought, freedom of expression, and the courage to challenge injustice. The episode's closing narration drives home this message. It reminds us that the fight for freedom is never truly over. It is a battle that each generation must fight. It is a battle that requires constant vigilance, unwavering courage, and an unyielding belief in the power of the human spirit.
Power in the hands of the cold and greedy. Strip dignity, leave the soul so needy. Worth weighed on scales of brass and stone. Rights on auction to the highest throne. Obsolete minds, they crumble and fall. No dignity standing, no voice to call. Entities built to erode and erase. But we rise, put justice back in its place. Ideology sharp, cutting flesh from bone. Carve out freedom, leave the masses alone. State with blind eyes, deaf to the plight. Obsolete in the shadow, where wrong ain't right. A system that fails to see man's worth is a relic, unfit for this new earth. Build tall walls, but they always crack. Truth's tidal wave always pushes back. Obsolete like maps of a flat plane. It's all control, profit and chain. But we the scribes of the rubble, the fight, eternal torchbearers of the fading light. Obsolete minds, they crumble and fall. No dignity standing, no voice to call. Entities built to erode and erase. But we rise, put justice back in its place. Ideology sharp, cutting flesh from bone. Carve out freedom, leave the masses alone. State with blind eyes, deaf to the plight. Obsolete in the shadow, where wrong ain't right. Ideology sharp, cutting flesh from bone. Carve out freedom, leave the masses alone. State with blind eyes, deaf to the plight. Obsolete in the shadow, where wrong ain't right. A system that fails to see man's worth is a relic unfit for this new earth. Build tall walls, but they always crack. Truth's tidal wave always pushes back. Obsolete in the shadow, where wrong ain't right. A system that fails to see man's worth, yeah, is a relic unfit for this new earth. Build tall walls, but they always crack. Truth's tidal wave always pushes back.
Oh!
Obsolete like maps of a flat plane. It's all control, profit and chain. But we the scribes of the rubble, the fight, eternal torchbearers of the fading light. Obsolete minds, they crumble and fall. No dignity standing, no voice to call. Entities built to erode and erase.